A fast-moving object the size of Manhattan is hurtling towards our solar system, and it will make its closest pass to Earth on December 17th. Comet, asteroid, or something else? A Harvard astrophysicist believes there's a strong likelihood this is a craft of alien origin, and the implications, obviously, for humanity would be profound. Avi Loeb, professor at Harvard, joins me now. Great to see you. Thank you. And I've been reading with interest what you're putting out there. It's very provocative.
Well, science is fun as long as you allow yourself to learn something new. And the problem with experts is that they insist on past knowledge that they promoted in echo chambers. And obviously anything in the sky, they argue, is a comet, but we should be open-minded because, if we have a visitor from the cosmic street to our backyard, it may not be a rock. It could be a tennis ball thrown by a neighbor. So let's look at the data.
That is a very interesting analogy. All right, Dr. Loeb, it is called 3I/Atlas. Give me the best case for why you think this object may be extraterrestrial and maybe alien form.
Well, first, its brightness implies that if it represents reflection of sunlight from a solid object, it needs to be 20 kilometers in diameter. That's bigger than Manhattan Island. And this is a giant rock. The previous interstellar objects were hundreds of times smaller. So it just doesn't make sense that the third object from interstellar space will be 100 times bigger than the previous two. And we won't see anything in between. And moreover, there is not enough rocky material in interstellar space to deliver us a rock of this size, 20 kilometers, over a period of about a decade that we conducted the survey of the sky, because this material is very rare, and you expect it once per maybe 10,000 years or longer. And so it's surprising if indeed it's a rock of that size. Now, it will actually get closest to the sun on October 29th, 2025, and that's when the Earth would be on the opposite side. It's as if it tries to avoid us. We won't be able to observe it. But it also comes from a direction in the sky that is crowded with lots of stars. It was difficult to see it until July 1st, 2025. And so the fundamental question is, was this designed by intelligence out there? And my argument is that we should collect as much data as possible to figure it out. And I defined a new scale that is now called the Loeb scale after my last name, where 0 implies a purely natural object like a comet or an asteroid, and 10 is a definitely technological object that maneuvers, broadcasts a signal, or transmits some artificial lights. And I rank this object, 3I/Atlas, as 4 on the scale between 0 and 10. And of course, the more data we have, the clearer it will become. As it comes closer to the sun, it should erupt, it should outgas and produce a beautiful cometary tail. If it is a comet, we don't see a cometary tail as of now. The Hubble Space Telescope took a very high-resolution image of it, and all we see is some glow surrounding it that is actually preceding it towards the direction of the sun, but nothing behind it the way we see cometary tails, which are pushed away from the sun by the solar radiation.
It's got a unique signature that doesn't imply comet. And as you know, NASA is saying this is a comet. It poses no threat to Earth and will remain at a distance of at least 1.6 astronomical units. That's about 150 million miles. But as we know, NASA's been wrong before. They thought they had discovered a new asteroid, which turned out to be Elon Musk's Roadster, the Tesla Roadster that had been launched. So they've been wrong before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, science is full of mistakes, and scientists in the mainstream of science that are considered experts often invest billions of dollars to check a hypothesis that turns out to be wrong. Some examples include, for example, a new symmetry of nature, supersymmetry, that was thought to be definitely out there, and then the Large Hadron Collider was constructed at a cost of $10 billion and didn't find any evidence for it in its natural range of parameters. That was embraced for decades by theoretical physicists.
Yes.
And there are many such examples that I can bring, but the point is that science is not decided by authority, it's decided by evidence. And the problem with experts is that they often use echo chambers that represent their past knowledge, and by doing that, they do not allow something surprising to be discovered.
Yeah.
If you insist that so, for example, there was...
It's arrogance.
I think in science we should have some sense of humility, because nobody expected, for example, quantum mechanics to be discovered. It was completely surprising. We still don't understand it a century later. And Albert Einstein had a difficult time interpreting it. And this is just to show you that very often nature is more imaginative than we are. And of course, for us to argue that we are the most intelligent species that ever existed since the Big Bang is indeed arrogant, because there are 100 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, and probably billions of Earth-Sun analogs.
Yes.
And this is just like seeing a lot of houses on your street that looks just like yours, and you insist that they have no residents in them.
No, and my contention has always been, we say, well, nothing could travel that fast. Nothing could reach us because it's too far away. Well, let's put a civilization that's been around 1 billion more years than us. Where would they be in technology? So I think this is complete arrogance and ignorance to think that we've got all the answers. I think it's just arrogant.
Well, also, the sun is 4.6 billion years old, and the age of the universe is 13.8 billion years, and so that's 3 times longer. So the sun was around only for the last 1/3 of cosmic history.
Yeah.
Most of the stars formed billions of years before the sun, and if a civilization like ours emerged next to them, you can ask, how long will it take Voyager, the spacecraft that we launched out of the solar system, how long will it take it to reach the opposite side of the Milky Way? It's less than 1 billion years. And therefore, they had plenty of time, those cosmic neighbors that we have, plenty of time to reach our backyard.
Yeah. Let me ask you about a couple of things. Does this have any steering mechanism that you think? Are you seeing it go off a straight line at all? Or is there any detection that it is being steered?
That's an excellent question. So far, no data was reported about the trajectory and how close it is to what we expect from gravity alone. The data will get better as it comes closer, but eventually, yes, this is considered to be non-gravitational acceleration, a subject that could reveal the existence of a propulsion system or some engine to the object that will definitely be a technological signature.